Heart-piercing strike. The spike was lodged deep in the heart, and every beat came accompanied by a stinging pain. But pulling it out would only leave blood dripping everywhere. Ha! Narcorn! You almost cut me in half! Sorry. I still haven't gotten the hang of this longsword yet. These fellows look even scarier than the ones we saw in the cave before. Judging from the original crystal distribution on their bodies, the infection seems to be quite severe, and they're moving so quickly, as if trying to flee. You must be quite curious about how I know so much. It's because I've been observing the endemic life forms affected by Originum the whole time. Hey! Are you even listening? Saving people is more important than that. We need to go take a look. Hello? It's safe now. Where are you? Here. Over here. Huh? Over here? Yes. Behind the sliding door. There's nothing blocking the door though? Huh? How is that possible? I've tried everything I could to open it, to no avail. How about lifting this handle down here? Like this? Ah, it opened. So that's how it works. No wonder I had so much difficulty finding it. What an ingenious design. So, were you trapped like that for the last 3 days? That's right. Maybe I was a bit too obsessed with my research. After all, it's such a rare finding. Oh? What's this soft thing under my feet? The corpse of an Originum slug. May I ask who you are? Sorry there, Sluggy. I forgot to introduce myself. I'm Mirai Taki, an ecological researcher. Norcorn, the horns on her head are different than yours. You said your name was... Mirai? Yep. We're operators from Rhodes Island, on a mission in the area. I'm Noircorn, and this is... So you're a scholar of the environment here? Of course. I'm in the middle of an ecological survey, actually. May I take a look at your research notes? Pretty please? What? What is this adorable talking creature? What's it gonna do? I'm not some creature, I'm a feline, and a researcher myself to boot. Look, I have my own research notes here. Wow. You even sketched the little explosion that Fukurami herbs make. It's one of my favorites. Did you know that it explodes from the pressure of the liquid inside the fruit? That was my hypothesis. As the fruit ripens, the mucus inside gradually builds up. Hey, I'm the one who saved you, so mind answering my questions first? Oh, fine. So, how did you get stuck down here in the first place? It was part of my ecological survey. I did say I'm a researcher, didn't I? Okay, next question. Hold on. Let me talk first. I've got some incredible news for you all. You'll never guess what I saw. Did you know what's living in this cave? A super big flying monster. Yeah. Flying monster breathes fire. Gotcha. Gotcha? Do you not find it the least bit interesting? It's called a Rathalos, and we were on its back before getting thrown down here. How could this be? What a tragedy. It turned out to be a creature that's already known. I was even going to name it after a character from a manga I read recently. I got so excited over nothing. Wait, talking creature. I've never seen anything like you before. Are you a new species? What are you doing? Get your paws off me. Just let me take a good look. Hold on. Let's get down to business first. Did you come into contact with the Rassalos? Yes, I observed it for a good while. I recorded its actions in the mine. and what it went through was in the originum zone. But now it feels like that was all a waste of time. Me recorded its behavior. Originum zone? Changes? No. Could you please show us those records? This is really important. Of course. Just wait here for a bit while I find them. Food, drinking water, even light equipment. What's all this? Protective gear for Originum, of course. How well prepared. No wonder Mew managed to last 3 days down here. I even brought some carbonated Suzuka flavored drinks. Norcorn, there's a ladder here. Maybe we could escape through the hole we came from. This looks like the entrance to the Originum processing plant. Where did you see the Rassalos? Not too far from here. Just straight ahead from this hole in the mine shaft. The shaft you came down was the one closest to the mine, and was only abandoned because it was too far from the village. I imagine it's the most convenient for the Rassalos to fly in and out from. You seem awfully familiar with the place. Enough to get by. Oh, right. Here. And this is? The Rassalos brought you two here, right? So I'm guessing you two were separated from your other companions. You can make use of the vent over there to send a smoke signal to help them find you. Thank you very much. He knows smoke signals? Anyway, here are all my notes, but my handwriting might be a little messy. So I'll read them out for you while you have a look. 4 days ago, the Rassalos flew into the cave at night, and the miners changing shifts were scared away. The flames it spewed also triggered a small explosion, which led to a partial collapse of the mine, and thus sealed the passage to the village. No wonder there was so much active Originum dust. It doesn't seem to be doing so well itself. The huge amount of Originum dust has noticeably affected it. In particular, it has difficulty feeding, and an increasingly violent temperament. I used an instrument to examine the dust in more detail and could see a large amount of particles suspended around it. Every time it breathes fire, the dust is set aflame, causing great devastation. We're lucky it hasn't wrecked the mine yet. Norcorn! That's why its flames are so powerful. Did you come across it while outside? More than once, even. That's why we came in the first place, actually. It's been spreading Originum dust all over the village. In that case, I must stress that you want to deal with it. Sorry. I must stress that if you want to deal with it, now might be the best time. Huh? Because it's in an extremely weakened state. And though it can recover quickly, it will still take some time. Also, the mine has been overused to the point of becoming structurally unstable. So if you just detonated bombs in certain spots, you could instantly collapse the entire mine. I'm a little worried about the Rassalos spewing fire while we're doing that, though. It'd ignite all the Originum dust and... well, the consequences would be disastrous. Yes? But you have to trust me. As long as you follow my plan, it won't have a chance to open its jaws, let alone spit out an ember. The only problem is that we don't have enough people to set up bombs in all the locations I marked on the map. We'd need at least one more, or it'd be virtually impossible to get it done by today. It would be perfect if Yato were here then. Is that another of your companions? Yes, a very serious but reliable lass. She also has 2 other felines like me by her side. Then we should have enough, but... But what? It's about the Rathalos. I still have some questions that might influence your final decision. Check my notes on page 237, in the bottom right corner. I've done some research into materials it leaves behind, and found out that it's actually not infected with neuropathy, which means its changes were not due to the infection. They're not? Then why does it have so much trouble feeding? I doubt it's completely unaffected by Originum, but I still wouldn't say it has neuropathy. What's even stranger is that more and more Originum clusters are forming on its body. So if the Rathalos isn't infected, and the Originum clusters on its bodies might just be a temporary thing, maybe it's not the one spreading the Originum dust? That's my theory, but I don't have any hard evidence to confirm it. Besides, the Rassalus's behavior towards Originum is also remarkably different from other creatures I've observed, and it's really difficult to describe. I think it's best if you just see it for yourself. Let's go, Norkhorn. Oddhorn Scholar, can you show us the way? No. Wait. Oh, right. Me just escaped. I don't mind. No, that's not what I... The communicator. We got a signal. Oh. Maybe it's due to the signal booster here. Can you try and contact Yato? Hurry and tell her what's going on here. Not yet. First, I have to ask you something important, Miss Taki. Huh? Me? You came into the mine alone, but with ample resources before the Rathalos even had arrived. You're very familiar with the place, but weren't with the miners when they changed shifts. Otherwise, you wouldn't have gotten stuck here. From my experience with the villagers and how sus they've been about the mine, I doubt they'd let an outsider conduct an ecological survey here. In short, I have some doubts about your identity, not to mention your family name. It's the same as the headman of Ruka village, right? So you're related to him, but you don't mind teaching us how to destroy the mine, and are happy to guide us to the Rathalos. Mirai Taki, what exactly is your angle here? Oh dear. I wasn't trying to hide anything, but I suppose it was just a matter of time. Were Mute playing a trick on us? I see. So you weren't a scholar after all. Then, who are you? No, I really am an ecological researcher. But all my papers and everything. I did omit a few details, like the fact that Ataru is my uncle. Or that I actually snuck into the mine. I also knew that you were from Rhodes Island because I'm the one who left your contact information for my uncle to find. I'm assuming he couldn't handle the original dust the Rassalos were spreading. So we called you guys in. You left him our contact info? Why? Because I wanted to shut down the mine. And there was no way I can convince the entire village by myself. Originally, I was planning to contact you myself. I figured that once you saw what was going on here, you'd do whatever it took to get the villagers away from here, right? Unfortunately, they confiscated my external communication equipment before I could. So I thought I'd come down here on my own and figure out how to destroy it myself. What made you so sure we'd evacuate the village? It wasn't even guaranteed that we'd stop them from mining. Also, I still don't know why you want to destroy the mine. Because if Ruka village continues to dig any deeper, this place will probably suffer a catastrophe. A catastrophe? How soon are we talking? Hard to say right now, since at this point, it's just an anomaly in the surrounding environment. So the Mirai we saw earlier was you leaving a mark after your investigation. Yep. Then I assume you've been in a situation where it felt like you were just going in circles for hours. That's an effect of the anomaly. The bad news is that said anomaly is getting even worse. And I'm pretty sure our big boy Rathalos is heading the same way. Though, I haven't seen it do its flamethrower thing in its lair yet. Of course, everything would be solved if you just went along with my plan. But why would the mine here cause a catastrophe? Because, well, you'll understand once you see it. Is there a secret lab? Yato, you are bleeding. Probably from when the Rathalos' tailspin that sent me hurtling to, probably from the Rathalos' tailspin that sent me hurtling to the ground. Some debris got into the wound, so I didn't notice it until now. It entered from the inner thigh. Can't tell how deep it is until I pull the debris out. You have any medicine to help treat this? Not this or this. It's alright, artisan. Is there anything that can be used as a rope? Yes, just wrap some grass together, like a braid. How strong is it? That should hold. Do you have anything that can burn? Found something. It burns. Alright, then please make a fire. And this is for you. After the fire gets going, wipe this dagger clean and put it over the flames. Can you do that? Yes, but mute. Captain's log number 4. This is Rhodes Island Operations Team A4. Captain Yato. In the previous battle with the Rassalos, I was separated from Operator Noir Corn, but our primary objective to track the creature has not changed. However, due to my current injury, the operation has been temporarily suspended. During this mission, we encountered many difficulties that far exceeded our expectations, and progress has not at all been smooth sailing. But I still believe in our ability to complete the mission, whatever the cost. I am now preparing to begin emergency field surgery on my wound, and will make an audio recording of the process for review purposes after the mission. First, I will remove the shard of debris from the wound. Blood! So much blood! Next, using a rope to stop the bleeding. Maybe you should have put the tourniquet before you removed... whatever. The wound. I can see the bone, but at least none of my arteries were hit. Needs disinfection, scraping away the dirt. Disinfection complete. Next, to ensure the rest of the operation proceeds smoothly, I must make sure I remain mobile. In the absence of medicine bandages, I've decided to use... Artisan? Is it ready? It's ready. Now cauterizing the wound. And the audio log. Hand me the knife. Presses the knife to the edge of the wound. Oh god, that's... not a fan of this. Yato, you alright? I'm fine. The wound... Alright, the bleeding stopped. Over there! Look! A smoke signal. Norcorn? It's in the direction that the Palico pointed out. So they must have come across the Rathalos. I'm glad they're doing well at least. The sky. It should be almost dawn by now, but it's still so dim. Black clouds? What's that noise? Forest! Rumbling and shaking! That sound. It's a beast. Over there! The beasts are dashing out from the forest. There's so many of them. Have they noticed something? Help! Help us! Someone's calling for help. Let's go! So, why are there so many of them? I told you not to listen to the headman's orders to enter the forest. It's just a few outsiders. Help! Stop yelling. Why would there be anyone else in this damn forest? We better think of something before we die here. Villagers? What are you doing here? See? The yelling worked. Come with me, quickly. I'll lead you out of here. Can we head over there? I think we can avoid the beast's rampage that way. We can try. We're here. Seems like the beasts aren't headed in this direction for now. Huh? It's them. The outsiders the headman want us to find. So they were still alive? The headman sent you after us? That combat ability. No wonder Mariah left Rhodes Island's contact information. She did say you weren't your average pharmacist. The headman said the cave-in might not have trapped you. So he told us to go look for you in the mountains. And if we found you, take you far, far away from the village. Why would he do that? Save it for later. The beasts are headed this way. The numbers have increased as well. If this keeps up. This is my fault for letting Kashiwa go alone. Even though the Palico followed him, given the current situation. Can you two get to a safe place by yourselves? From here? Should be able to. Sorry, I can't continue to escort you. Stay safe. If you manage to return to the village, please tell the residents to evacuate as soon as possible. Got it. And thank you. Artisan, we should go help Kashiwao. What about Noir Corn? Right. They should still be with the Raslos. I should update him on the plan, but there's no time for that now. Doot doot, doot doot. Comms! Alive! It's Corn. I'm glad we caught the signal. Yato, can you hear me? I'm here. I'm seeing a smoke signal from my location. Is that yours? Yeah, I'm with the Feline Scholar. And we're safe for the time being. How are things on your end? I'm doing fine. Corn? Do you know what the situation is like outside? The beginnings of a catastrophe. Yeah? Yes. There have been some obvious tells, judging from the situation. There's still time to evacuate the villagers, but the wild beasts in the forest have already started rampaging. We need to update each other on the situation to coordinate our actions. Not long ago, I made the mistake of clashing with Kashiwao and letting him go off on his own. He might be in some kind of danger right now, and I think I should prioritize saving him over rendezvousing with you. I'm still not clear how we'll deal with the Raslos, but it's highly likely that he'll lose his life on his own. It was my fault, so I absolutely cannot leave him behind. I get you, but I gotta tell you something too. What is it? Right now, we're above the Raslos' nest, and we found out it's connected to the cave in the village. It's an original mine. That's the source of the dust that the Raslos has been spreading. So that's what it was. Also, we have a really good plan to deal with the Raslos. Oh? If we destroy the mine and bury it in the rubble, we'll be able to take care of it once and for all. It won't be able to spread any more ripathy, and the villagers can evacuate without any worries too. Can you confirm the feasibility of this plan? It was hatched by someone who's researched the mine in depth. But if we want to do this right away, just me and Feline Scholar aren't enough. We'll need your help too. If we miss this opportunity, who knows what kind of accident might happen. In the worst case scenario, we'll probably be facing an unprecedented crisis. So we need you to make the call. Understood. Yato? What a dilemma we've gotten ourselves into. Yato, listen to me. Remember what we decided back then? We've already made our choice. Nonsense. I never said I couldn't do it. I'm not changing my decision. I'll go look for Kashiwao right away while you do your best to keep the situation over there under control. I will save his life, and I won't let the Rathalos harm anyone else either. I'll save everyone. Alright. Be careful out there. You too. Die! All of you die! Get out of my sight! You scamp. Just why did you? Don't hold me back, old timer. You truly don't have a brain up there, do you? A group of hunters who know not the rules of the forest, much less respect them, and in provoking its wrath, sent all the beasts into a frenzy, trampling all over our crops. Well, fantastic. I suppose they'll just get their desserts. All they brought were some mining tools. There's no way they can handle that many wild beasts. So I have to go in there. I can't just stand back and watch them get torn apart. Aren't you also against the original mining project? This is perfect for us, is it not? Those fools in the forest were asking for it. Just let nature consume them. As it should. Old timer. As a hunter of the village, I of all people can't sit back at a time like this. You idiotic, wretched brat! You step outside of this room, and I'll break both your legs. But you never did stop me from going. Which is how I ended up like that. Yes. Yes. It was all me. I caused your death. It's all my fault. I'm a terrible father. You should feel ashamed of your incompetence. And you must also pay for your sins. Yes. I should. Which is why I've been trying to kill all the beasts here in your stead. Especially that wicked, enormous, insane, fire-spewing monster. But I am incapable of hunting it. These hands of mine are too old to properly wield a spear. And mine eyes so clouded, I can only watch milk beasts frolic around. Then lay down and die. Die. Yes. That's about the only thing I am capable of now. Kill one, and then another, and then I'll be able to see you again. He wanted to swing his hunting spear, but his arms had no more strength, letting it fall to the ground. He had no desire to retrieve it, for it had lost all purpose. The beast bared its fangs and was about to tear its prey apart. Denied the chance. A beast clad in scales. Now that's a sight I've not seen in. And now, the beasts mutually rend each other apart. Will I die beneath the claws and teeth of these monsters? Yato, your Majesty, I advise you to reconsider, for it will not be easy to get out of this. What is that? Someone's voice? Just tell me how you can help me, or I'll cut my way through. Someone's speaking. Am I just imagining things? It's not time for you to die yet, old man. What are you still doing here, girl? Saving you. You should have left this place. Not come to my aid. Fuzakeruna! Didn't you say you were going to hunt the Rathalos? Yet you're so willing to die to some nameless beast? Open your eyes already. The frenzied beasts are going to rush down the mountain sooner or later. And the first thing they'll trample over will be the village. Your neighbors will be forced to scatter and flee. Innocent children will die. Are you going to just stand by and watch all of that happen? Yoshitaka Kashiwao, you are a hunter of Rokai village, and as its only hunter, you of all people can't sit back at a time like this. The last thing you should be doing is feeling sorry for yourself here, much less giving up your life so easily. Wield that spear in your hands. Abandon those useless obsessions and think carefully on what a hunter's duty is. To defend their home from the sharp claws of beasts. To desperately keep the flame of survival lit. True, somebody will always be forced to bear a price. Hunters, as well as us. But we have both chosen this path. Now get up! Akira. What was it that you said back then to get me to let you go? I said that I would defeat them all. Did you succeed? I did, Father. Kira, you've got a damn good spear, boy. I should hold on to it tight. Go. And never appear before me again. I will defeat them all. That's enough. Noise from you. You don't speak much, girl, but when you do, you're fiercer than a mangler. If you have the strength to talk, then stop wasting time and cover the rear. I have no reason to take orders from a whippersnapper. Mind your own business. Your Majesty's words remind me so much of my time in Kokoto village. Before the age of the hunters, it was the headman who stepped up to defend the village from Youngsters, earning the title of hero for his bravery. Do not pick me up by the scruff of the neck. Palico, watch how right. Do you remember the moves I spoke of earlier, Your Majesty? Well, I've gone over them in my head a few times. You must remember, the trick to using the dual blades to their fullest potential is to abandon all defense and enter a state alike to a ferocious beast. Or as we call it, demon mode. Demon mode, huh? We move. Hell yeah. Still not a huge fan of Kashiwa, but I get he's, you know, he's got his problems he's working through. I never thought the cave would be so close to a volcano. My tail is feeling so warm. Ouch! It's hot! It's on fire! Now I get why you want to close the mine. We'd have done the same in your shoes. This place has definitely been overmined. It even has an original processing plant, but none of the specialized equipment you'd usually see. This has gone way further than a tiny village can handle. Mining so carelessly without strict safeguards in place will only result in the leakage of active original particles and inevitably cause catastrophes. But what I don't get is, based on what you said, they started mining 7 years ago. And the person who led the project was your uncle, current village headman. So, why do the tunnels stretch so deep after just 7 years? They can't possibly have dug all this themselves. You're half correct. Huh? The mining tunnels weren't dug by the villagers. They were already here before. Remember what I said earlier about the beast outbreak 7 years ago? Yeah. You said it was a real serious one. And that old Kashiwa's son, Akira, was also a hunter. And lost his life in it. That was a direct consequence of the mining. You good, Scholar? I'm perfectly fine. What exactly did I trip on? Bones? Yeah, that's a whole lot of bones. Plus teeth. And claws? They have been dead for a long time. Wait, this form. It must have been a large carnivorous creature. This is my first time seeing one here. Judging from its remains, it would have been covered in scales and have well-developed forelimbs with long and sharp claws. So it was probably it most probably was good at digging holes. An armor claw beast. That's their name. A type of predator that once inhabited this region. They were social creatures that would dig their nests in the mountains. This mine was actually one of their nests, and they built majestic palaces over the years while tunneling through the surrounding original veins. But we haven't seen a single one down here, or in the forest. That's because they disappeared 7 years ago. Disappeared? Disappeared? For real? The very last trace of their species in this area is the pile of skeletons before you. How exactly did something like that happen? Back when this original mine was newly discovered, Akira Kashiwa was firmly against the project. He reckoned destroying the armor claw beast nests would net unpredictable consequences, and that the original mining itself wasn't exactly safe either. On the other hand, my uncle and the other villagers believed that they desperately needed the potential profits to change their grueling way of life. So, concealing it from Akira, they and the other hunters banded together to exterminate all the armor claw beasts in the region in order to freely mine the originum. But the slaughter resulted in the surviving armor claw beasts rampaging through the forest, leading to the beast outbreak that year. So many innocent lives were lost, just for the sake of opening a mine. You must have seen my uncle's attitude, yes? To him, the Rathalos is simply the manifestation of vengeance from all the beasts he slaughtered. He definitely has dreams about Akira's death on the regular too. His closest friend, his apprentice, carried out the will of a hunter to the very end, and died for his sake. And now that Akira's predictions have come true, naturally he's terrified. Akira died for the headman's sake? I thought he lost his life protecting the village. The outbreak wasn't threatening the village, but was closer to the mine. He was beset by frenzied beasts whose numbers far surpassed any regular outbreak we'd seen. Oh, we hear. Originum rocks were clustering around the lava bubbling in the cave. The King of the Skies lifted its head. The insignificant Oni looked down. Their eyes each reflected the other's gaze. Jigshawmeh. It's surrounded by a bunch of Originum rocks. Since you didn't want to deal with it right now, take care not to get too close. If we accidentally anger it, we'll be in deep trouble. Got it. Scholar. Where you at? The Rathalos seems to be using the Originum for its lair. This is impossible to comprehend. It looks like it's in a lot of pain. Is it because of the Originum on it? Most probably. There seems to be a substantially more particles compared to our previous encounter. Right now, it's more or less an oversized source of pollution spreading Originum dust wherever it goes. My hypothesis is that the Rathalos most probably was just trying to survive and ended up nesting here. But being deep in the mines, it's constantly exposed to Originum. When it returns to the forest to feed, the flames it spews while hunting will in turn trigger the clusters on its body, dispersing particles everywhere. So it's a victim of Originum too. Must you hunt it, Noircorn? The Originum is too much of a danger to leave alone. And considering the safety of both the village and ourselves, hunting it is the best way to deal with the situation. But if we can deal with just the clusters, I just need a little more time. I'll bring out my binoculars. What else could there be? Huh? Those tracks are... Scholar, come quick. You're too far out. The ground's too unstable over there. Huh? Yeah. Yeah. I was so afraid. Noircorn, why didn't you warn me earlier? Didn't you see that? Uh-huh. The big binoculars just bounced off the Rathalos' head. Sparks are coming out of its jaws. Just run already. The mine is going to be destroyed. Run for it. I'm running. If it triggers auto Originum here, the anomalies are definitely going to spike. And then it'll be a catastrophe. Oh boy. A black mist shrouds the sky, and the mountain and rivers burst. Wind scales the peaks, and flames rise like a crimson tide. Vegetation burns to ashes and life into coal. The village gates swing open and the houses collapse. All life cowers and the heavens fall. Ah, poop. That can't be good. They're dodging my slashes so easily. How foolish. You clearly lack a hunter's intuition. Their weak point is a soft patch of skin in their jaws. Stab straight in so you can slit the throat. Got it. Six-fold slash. A hit. Have a taste of this. Kono yaro. We did it. Be careful of the rear, Mewtwo. Nanja koraya. Twofold slash. I don't know Japanese, by the way, so I have no idea what those words are. I'm Korean. You're welcome. Are my hands losing their strength? On my way to a certain village, I heard tales of an endless stream of dragons, but to personally witness a similar event. The beast outbreak is showing no signs of abating. If we remain trapped here, we'll eventually collapse from exhaustion. We have to find a way out. If we can make our way to those tall trees over there, we can make use of the canopy's height to avoid the rampage. I have an idea. What's this? This is the powder I used to trigger the horned beast earlier, in hopes of luring out the Rathalos. But I used too much and lost control of the herd. Using it on people is unheard of, and probably suicidal. But right now, this might be our only method of drawing them away. But that means, yes, whoever is affected by it will be beset by the entire horde. But as long as we can make our way through, it will be worth it. Probably. No. Artisan, do you still have that rope from earlier? Yes, I made so much of it. Good. It's long and tough enough to support the weight of multiple people. If we tie it to the tree, we can use it to make a makeshift grappling hook to retrieve whoever's acting as bait, which will be me. So if you would... No. I must be the bait. I won't allow it. It's too dangerous to let you get surrounded by the horde again. If you sacrifice yourself here, wouldn't that make my efforts to save you meaningless? I don't know if I'd be able to rescue you with these old hands of mine. But I can at least make sure not to croak before you rescue me. I have faith in you, girl. Fine. Let's do this. Come, you dastards. Over here. Yes, just like that. Chase me like the lunatics you are. Now's my chance. Flurry rush. Ah! It worked. Perfectly. Deploy the grappling hook immediately. I'll go retrieve Kashiwao. These beasts just charged straight through me with wild abandon. We've really lured them away. I can't believe it. There's simply so many of them. That day 7 years ago, was also like this. Brett, is this how you felt that night? Did you die to something like this? Was this what you saw in your final moments? Surrounded by these beasts, encircled by their jaws, drowning in their saliva. You must have been slaying them one after another with the spear. Just like this. But no matter how many you killed, there were always more of these damnable beasts, wave after relentless wave. Be gone! So, they saw you as a mere slab of meat to be divided between themselves. No longer among the living. And knowing you, brat, you probably just kept your mouth shut, rather than calling for help. Simply brandishing this lance till your strength failed you, till you could wield it no longer. Collapsing on some rocks, slowly falling to your knees. Yet the beast never ceased their advance. So that's how it was. Kashiwao, grab my hand. What are you blinking out for? Quickly. Got you. Palico, pull the rope. Finally. Not yet, Your Majesty. The branches over there have broken. Many more beasts rush over as we speak. Shikasho. Is there anything else we can do? Your Majesty, look. The beasts are scattering all of a sudden. A noise from the sky. The Rasilo soars to the sky, and that's... Nante kota. What? A catastrophe. Oh. The gale carelessly bound both land and sky together with flame, like an ignorant life devouring everything in its path. Trees were but weeds within the tornado of fire, and mountains crumbled to rubble. The most fearless of warriors were powerless to stand against it, and the most devout prayers echoed to no avail. It had arrived. The land's retribution. Jump down. Brace for impact. Is everyone all right? I'm fine. I'm perfectly fine as well. The sky is alit. Pillars of crimson flame. So, what a truly terrifying sight. I've read about a similar case on the landship before. A hurricane unleashed by a catastrophe encircled a mountain of fire, becoming a ferocious firestorm. As it moves, the vortex pulls from its surroundings, and with everything combustible in the forest, I can imagine the consequences. Why? Why did the catastrophe strike so soon? The center of the firestorm. It's near the mine. The mine? Taste my blade. Hey, is this where you guys were? Sea Scholar, just like I said. That's enough yapping, Noracorn. I expect a full report soon. Alright. Old Kashiwao, what are you doing here? I could ask you the same thing, Mirai. You can hardly call us fortunate, but at least we managed to escape the horde thanks to the catastrophe. I don't know what the situation in the village is right now, but the core of the catastrophe is still quite a ways away and moving fairly slowly. However, that's not the case with the beast outbreak. Any ideas on how to return to the village as soon as possible? If that's still nearby, maybe we can use it to send the mountain quickly. It has not been used for a long time. I can't be sure if it still works. Planning on letting the rest of us in on this? It's a rail car. We used it a lot when the mines were just opening, and it made things real convenient. But after the cave was repaired, we more or less abandoned it. Don't worry, it should still work fine. It's the very first thing I designed after all. Were you an ecologist? I'm not sure I should trust your skills as a railcar engineer. Kashiwao, our next battle won't be any easier, so I hope you're prepared. I don't suppose you'd let this old man loaf about for once. Please, by all means. I fully intend to respect your opinion. Oh? I'm aware that I tend to ignore the ideas of those around me and insist on doing things my way. And that this is a behavior I should correct. The mistakes I've made were precisely because of that. And I should also apologize for what I said earlier. I'm sorry for my unproductive words. without knowing anything about your background. I did not intend to hurt you. So, will you accept my apology? Fine. If it pleases you. Good. Then that's settled. Girl, earlier you said you understood me. What did you mean by that? That... It's a bit of a long story. If it's a bother, just pretend that I didn't ask. No, I don't mind. You see, before I joined Rhodes Island, I was an assassin. Nani? A literal killer, acting on the orders to take the lives of my people, day and night. Until one day, I looked at my blood-stained hands and felt nothing but fear in my heart. The next day, I was tasked to dispose of a mother and daughter, but chose to protect them instead. Because I didn't want to be a killer anymore. That was also the day I met Noir Corn, who listened to my story and chose the same path. But I'd made a mistake. It wasn't just a matter of refusing to kill. The pair I saved were so frightened of me that I could only leave them in a safe place. And while in the moment I felt only the weightless relief of not taking a life, I had forgotten something important. That the only end awaiting them was to be killed by someone else. Do you regret it? Yes. For a long time after that, I often dreamt of them. They would ask me why I had left them to die. I didn't want to hurt innocents anymore. But I still ended up indirectly cutting their lives short. I used to wonder if I was even capable of protecting anyone at all. Luckily, I had help. Thanks to him, I made my decision. You mean the boy over there? Yes. He scolded me, a rare occurrence, and said, "The past is the past. All your remorse, all the sins you carry, make up for them with your future." I took him for just an oddball, but I suppose he's got a proper head on after all. What he said seemed right to me, and since then, I haven't given it much thought. We decided to make it our mission to protect others, and he dragged me along to join Rhodes Island. And because of our similar objectives, we're still working together even now. This must be some company to hire on people like you. So protecting others is your way of atoning for your past. You might say it started like that. But I've had a few additional insights along the way. I've seen too much life and death. There are many reasons people might surrender their lives. And some even seek death out of ignorance. You could say that I stubbornly impose my will on others, but only because of my duty to protect your lives. Life in this land is not meant to end so easily, but to be lived and experience all its possibilities. So I will continue my efforts. I don't want to regret anything, or to see people forced to gaze only at ruins. So I refuse to leave you alone. Yato, Kashiwao, we found a rare cop, and it's still working. Hey, what are you both looking at me like that for? Is there something on my mask? It's nothing. We'll be right over. Anyway, I look forward to cooperating with you in the upcoming battle, Kashiwao. Holds out hand? No. I've told you this so many times already. That's my quarry. You need only watch from the sidelines and applaud my brilliance. I just pretend I didn't hear that. The path you've chosen is not an easy one. All I can do is wish you the best. Likewise. He's still trying to say it's his quarry. Like, bro, he is out of his mind if he thinks he's gonna be able to take down a Rathalos on his own. Bro, Gramps, please get on your meds.